Good morning. Give me 1 second. One second. 1 second. Good morning. This is Renee with Speaking Out Loud. It's 8:21 on 10/27, a snowy day here in Roswell, New Mexico. Man, good luck to all them drivers out there. Um, Stay safe. Stay safe. I also had to drive here in a few, but I thought I'd get a little bit off my chest. I wasn't able to yesterday because I had to work, but whoo! God damn it! Good morning. Good morning. Yo, this is depressing. This is depressing, but as always, I always say, come with that energy. So that's what I hope I'll bring. But before I get into this, man, just like I said, everybody be safe, yo. Make a difference. Get off your phones. Just listen to the radio. Do your thing. Pay attention to everybody else. But most importantly, man, stay motivated. Keep doing your thing, and keep grinding. That's what it's all about. Keep grinding. Yo, but anyways, so let's go, let's move on here, man. Let's move on. I woke up yesterday upset. I went to the Cowboys tryout, put on my jersey. Good morning, Easy. What's up, my guy? All right, man. Let's move. Let's start. Let's get this going, bro. How bad are the Dallas Cowboys? Here's the reality to this. Okay, we, as Chelsea Sonnen would say it, Dallas Cowboys, you absolutely suck. Here's the reality to this, though. There is absolutely no heart in this locker room. It's disappointing. It's so depressing. I mean, you saw the hit on Andy Dalton, and there was no response whatsoever. What is going on there? Come on, man. Someone has to react. We're not asking you guys to fight, but goodness, you have to have some sort of reaction there. And that just shows exactly what's going on in that locker room. No one has heart. No one has passion. No one has any type of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but there's zero heart, and it showed it there. And this starts from the very top with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones has completely ruined this team. I mean, we've always picked at him saying that this guy needs to hire a GM and allow someone to actually direct this team, but it's gotten worse. This is the worst it's ever gotten. He's lost the locker room. Why are we going to blame Mike McCarthy when Jerry Jones did this? Come on, Jerry. This started with you. This all started from the beginning of the season when you should have paid Dak, and we weren't even talking. I mean, Dak was willing to accept a 4-year, $35 million a year contract. So everybody that's shitting on Dak saying he wants all this money, so on and so forth, look it up. 35 mil for 4 years. Jerry wanted 5. They couldn't meet in the middle. Just sign him for the next 4 years. It seems simple. At 35 million a year, that's exactly what every Cowboys fan, every analyst was saying. No passion. Exactly. That's what I was looking for. Thanks, Easy. No passion. But come on, Jerry. You started this. If you would have paid Dak, and I'm not saying that he doesn't get hurt if you pay him, but this team has more fight. And then going forward from that moment, even though when you don't pay Dak and you franchise tag him, as I've said and many other people have said, why has Earl Thomas not been spoken to yet? That defense has no heart, no passion. They're not even enthusiastic about Sundays. All they want to do is go home. And they don't even want to go back to Dallas. We're talking home, where they're from. This is a goddamn joke going on in Dallas, man. I'm a diehard fan, and I'm going to keep rocking with them. But come on, man. Come on, Jerry. This is all with Jerry. This is all Jerry Jones. This is what happens. As Max Kellerman says, when you have your toys and you just want to play with them. This is exactly what happens. You've completely lost this locker room, and that's exactly what Sunday showed us. This team is awful. This team is so awful. And I'll still be here. I'll still be talking, But what a joke we are. and it starts with Jerry Jones. There was no great moves. I mean, now we're talking about trading our defensive linemen. There's no hope. At this point, I believe we're going to start looking for draft picks. I mean, the only thing that's going to turn this thing around is if we beat Philly. But let's be real. We ain't going nowhere. And this is what depresses me the most. My boy back here, Mr. Des Bryant, basically got blackballed because they said he was a disease in the locker room. And in fact, it's showing that it's Jerry Jones. We don't have one guy. Not one guy that has stepped up, that has yelled at anybody. The only guy that's yelled at anyone is Andy Dalton, who's now unconscious. Now he's back, but he's not going to play this Sunday. Nobody gave a shit. The only guy that was ever vocal on this Dallas Cowboys team is Des Bryant. Or Chris Richards, which they also let go. What a joke, man. Des, throw it up, baby. I hope you kill it at Baltimore. I hope you kill it in Baltimore, man. What a joke. Then I got another joke for you here. Baker's back, huh? Baker Mayfield showing off some skills, throwing 5 touchdowns this Sunday. But was he overreacting with his celebrations? Baker, chill, guy. These aren't the games we give a shit about. You should win these games. You should have a good game against these types of defenses. Focus on the next one. Come on. OBJ's hurt for the rest of the year. Prayers to him, man. I hope he gets better. I feel bad for him because I feel like his talent really hasn't. I mean, he obviously has a talent. He's probably the most athletic guy in football, or one of the most athletic guys in football right now. But what has he had? I mean, he's had an Eli Manning that was coming off the hill fast, and then got put in with Baker, who, I mean, the guy really can't throw the ball. I was watching on ESPN yesterday. These guys talking about how Baker plays better without OBJ on the field, which is bogus. I think his QBR goes up by, he's at like 62 with him, and then he's at like 64. What a big upgrade that is. I mean, it's obvious that Baker Mayfield can't throw the ball accurately. It's obvious that he gets happy feet once a little bit of pressure gets into the backfield. It's a joke. This is a goddamn joke. Baker Mayfield, you got to ball out whenever there's a real defense on the other side of the field. Like, we didn't see that shit in Pittsburgh. We sure didn't see that shit in Pittsburgh. But if OBJ was the problem, we're going to find out this upcoming week. We're really going to find out this next upcoming week. So, Baker, put on that strap and ball out. Because if not, this is it for you. One more bad game against a good team, and you're done. It doesn't matter if you have a winning record. Because we know what the poison is in Cleveland. They continue to disappoint. I mean, this may almost be the biggest disappointment in football other than the Dallas Cowboys this year. They just continue to disappoint and disappoint and disappoint. And then you see shenanigans like Baker Mayfield. I mean, sure, enjoy the ride as you get there, right? I get that. Enjoy the ride. I get it. But when you're on this type of ride, when you're being compared, when you put yourself on that pedestal, yourself, you got to ball out, son. No goddamn excuses. All right, man. Brady or Belichick? This is another topic that people have been discussing. Brady or Belichick? Come on. I don't even feel like this should be discussed. Why are we discussing this already? Brady obviously has a loaded ass team, and they're about to add AB to it. How are we going to compare Brady to Belichick when Belichick has absolutely nothing in New England? I mean, what did we expect from Cam Newton, really? What did we expect? Tom Brady, they got to the playoffs because of a defense who right now, 7 defensive players as of This year, when the season started, 7 defensive players opted out because of COVID-19. The defense got worse, but yet the defense is not playing completely terrible. I mean, we've seen terrible defenses. I mean, I sure in the hell have. I watch it every Sunday. 7 players opt out. Cam Newton has the same offense. I mean, I don't know who they've added. Julian Edelman is still the best receiver who is on the back end of his career. I mean, the guy can't stay healthy. I feel bad for him, but that's just the reality of it. How are we going to dog Cam? We knew Cam wasn't accurate. If anything, if we're going to make a comparison, if Lamar Jackson doesn't get it together, you can almost say that's a Cam Newton. But how are we going to punch Belichick in the mouth because he has a terrible team? I mean, they left him with a terrible team. 7 defensive players, which was the only thing that got them to the playoffs last year, because we know Tom Brady didn't do it, and that's not a knock on Brady. It's just the fact that there was no weapons offensively. And we said that all year. We said it over and over and over and over again. But yet now we're going to put this on Belichick? Come on, man. When we look at Super Bowls here, Tom Brady's won 6, right? They've been to 9. Okay, the 3 that they lost, I mean, they put up 17 points or 14 points against the Giants, and then 17 points against the Giants again, right? And then they put 33 against Philly. But those two big Super Bowls against the Giants that they lost, 14 and 17 points. Why aren't we putting those against? Why isn't that being pushed on Brady? This is the best duo of all time. Let's accept that. Because there's no way to prove who's better unless both teams are equally set going into the year. Now let's say Bill Belichick is coaching that Tampa Bay team with Cam Newton. Of course we're going to see a 5-2 team. That the Buccaneers defense is top 10 right now. There's not a player in New England right now that you're just saying, oh, goodness gracious, this guy is bad. Name one and keep counting. You know, Tom Brady, Fournette, Jones, Evans, Goodwin, bringing in AB. The whole defense. Bill Belichick is the best player in New England right now. But we're going to compare them? Come on, man. There's no pick there. You can't pick either of them right now. Doesn't make sense. And don't get it twisted, man. Bill Belichick, there's a plan for next year. Like this has already been going on. This is already a set plan for him. All right, man, let me give you my NFL rankings real quick. After week 1, I still got Pittsburgh at my number 1. The reason that, the way I've been saying it is this team, this defense smacks you in the mouth. They smack you in the mouth. They're the reason, as I've said before, they're the reason that people don't want to put their kids in football. Because this defense smacks up, man. Derrick Henry, to me, should be in the MVP conversation. But guys, they held him to his season low. 75 yards on 20 carries. This defense is for real. Tennessee had a chance. They missed a field goal. I think what we learned from Tennessee is that they can play with the elites. They're that good. And unless you have a high-powered defense with big guys at the line, you really don't stand a chance. This is what this game showed me. Tennessee is legit. And unless you have a high-powered defense with big guys at the line, you are not beating this team. They're going to slow the game down. Ryan Tannehill is going to do what Ryan Tannehill does. This is the best matchup. As of right now, with the question mark on KC because they have Patrick Mahomes, this may be the AFC Championship. The Tennessee Titans against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Pittsburgh stays at my number one because, they looked good. They didn't look great in the second half, but they kept their composure. They continued to play. They grinded it out. That's what great teams do sometimes. They have to grind it out. That's just how it works. At my number two, I'm going to have to move up the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers, the only problem there is they can't stop the run, which is a huge problem. But offensively, they can put up the points to continue to battle. And in the passing game, if you can't run the ball, these guys, they got some lockdown corners. You got Kevin Keenum on one side. The guy is legit. At my number four, I feel like I got to keep KC there. At my number three, At my number three, I gotta move up KC. Last week, they're at my number four. They're still suspect on defense, but they got Patty Mahomes that figures out a way to get things done. And they just added Le'Veon Bell. What's better than two studs, two dynamic duos in the backfield? Le'Veon Bell's also going to add He's also going to add another receiver to this team. This guy is just as good catching the ball from the backfield as he is running it. This is insane. These teams are getting loaded. It's crazy. At my number four, I have to move up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were sitting at my number six, but I jumped them up over Tennessee because they lost, but I still think they're legit. But the reason that I'm putting Tampa Bay at my number four is because of the signing of Antonio Brown, which we have yet to see what's going to happen there, because that could just be a firework that blows up on accident. It really can. It's 50-50. We just don't know. We got to see. Bruce Arians came out and said that you either play or you get out. It's simple. Ball out or get out. And then at my number five, I'm going to keep the Tennessee Titans, which what this means is I knocked out the Seattle Seahawks from my top five, but they're lingering at number six. And the only reason that is because we saw Russell Wilson become human there at the end in overtime, giving up an interception with less than a minute left to lose the game. Those are the plays that may cost you MVP. I still have him as my lead MVP, but those are the plays that can cost you winning MVP. And that's it for that one, man. Let's go on. Let's move on to this last one before I got to get going. What a weekend, Khabib Nurmagomedov. What a display he had, man, on Saturday. What a fight. It wasn't really a fight, but it was just legendary watching this guy do what he does at the highest level. But the real conversation, I think, was taken from Jon Jones posting his video saying he's the GOAT. How can people question? Because he has 15 wins to Khabib's 4 championship wins. And really, if you're going to make an argument, I think what your argument is going to be is it's simple. You took PEDs, man. Once you put that asterisk on you, does it really matter? And like I said Saturday on the UFC special, you have to come back and start beating some elites clean. It's that simple. You have to come back. Get off the goddamn internet, and how about you book a fight? Francis Ngannou's waiting for a fight. I bet you anything, if you're that elite, you can make that fight for the interim belt. You can talk Dana White into making that interim belt because Stipe is looking not to fight for another year. This guy's going to sit out another year. Francis Ngannou's being held back. If Jon Jones wants to go down as the greatest ever, you have to come back clean. Because as of right now, Jon Jones has GOAT next to him, along with PED in parentheses. Am I right or am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Khabib has completely dominated his division, and he's awesome. Let's not forget, he beat these guys at their peak, at their prime. A lot of the time when we see fights, most of the time both fighters aren't at their prime. One's either coming off, one's been the champion for so long, blah, blah, so on and so forth. This guy completely beat these guys at their most elite. The only guy he hasn't beat at his prime is Tony Ferguson. And that's not his fault that Justin Gaethje pieced him up. That's not his fault. Do I think he should retire? No, I think you got to do one more. I think you have to. I think you have to fight Tony Ferguson. I think you have to. And really, I mean, this is what's great about UFC. This is what's crazy about the UFC. This is what's crazy about the media. Is they set a point of view and they just push it, right? I mean, we see this in anything. And they just push the shit out of it. I mean, they almost talk you into believing that someone has a chance, just like Justin Gaethje. I mean, in reality, the guy had no chance, right? The only thing that we were pushing is the fact that he had a wrestling background, and if he could keep it on the feet, he had a chance. Khabib was piecing him up, son. I was impressed with Khabib piecing him up. I was actually shook. And then he did whatever he wanted with them after that. And at this point, the only threat to Khabib is really someone that can do well on their back, and that's Tony Ferguson. The only way Khabib's going to lose is if he accidentally falls into a chokehold, falls into an armbar, something of that sort. That's the only way this guy loses. But he promised his mom that he was done. So most of the time, I think Khabib stays with what he says. So I don't see him coming back. So now the conversation is, who's the next champ? You got Conor McGregor against Dustin Poirier. You got Chandler probably going to fight Tony Ferguson. Chandler hasn't even proven himself yet in the UFC. I mean, he's a Bellator champ, but really, what's Bellator? That's like I don't even want to say the XFL, CFL to football, right? But we're already talking about putting them in title fights. Come on, man, come on. All right, guys, that's it for my rant today. Let's go, man. This show is sponsored by Amity Boutique. Check out Amity Boutique, where you can make your girl smile, baby, smile. Get your clothing for your girl. Hey, I'm telling you, y'all are sleeping on those leggings, son. Those leggings. Telling you, son. Just get them for your girl, and I promise you will not be disappointed. Appreciate y'all, man. God bless y'all. Y'all stay true. Y'all stay blessed, and keep it going, man. Keep killing it. Appreciate y'all. Much love.